Hello, this is your friend Velma Hagar with her little book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places, on Amazon.com. It's such a good book, you guys. I know I say that over and over, but if you haven't got it, it's loaded with little treasures. It's loaded with God's promises and how to find them and apply them to our everyday life. Today we're going to talk about the heart. The word says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever you bring into yourself is going to end up in your heart and it's going to come out your mouth. And eventually what's in your head and your heart that comes out your mouth is going to come out in your life. It's going to show up in your life somewhere. It also says that your heart is a wellspring of life, that out of it flow the issues of life. So every single thing in your life has to do with your heart. Now, I want to encourage you. Today we went to my little granddaughter's 8th grade graduation, and we all gave her a word of wisdom. And as I was giving her, look at my little Guido, I was giving her the word of wisdom, it came to me that really I needed to do a video on this, a vlog, I should say. The heart is so much more important than your abilities or your talents. Where your heart is, that's what is going to really show in your life. So what I want to encourage you, first of all, this is what I told her. Acknowledge God in all your ways. Lean not on your own understanding, and He'll make your path straight. So once you've done that, once you have got your heart right with God, then you can trust your heart. Otherwise, the word says that men's heart is wicked. They have a wicked heart. But once you've given it to God, it's no longer wicked. And you let Him rule and control you. And then I want to say to you, always listen to your heart. I heard someone say, when your heart speaks, take notes. I believe in that. Sometimes your head will say something to you, but your heart's saying something else. If you have a choice to go with one or the other, always go with the heart, unless it's something that goes against God. That's different. But once you're serving God and you've asked God to direct your steps, He promises that He will. So you can rest assured that what's coming out of your heart is the wellspring of your life. So always follow that heart. I have to tell you a story. I had this friend who, she was a widow, and she had loved her husband very much, the one that died. And when she married him because her heart was so full of him. Well, after he died, there was someone else that came along. And this next man was a good man. He was a real good man. And it was a man she'd known. They were friends when she was married to her other husband. And she didn't feel it in her heart at all that she should marry him, but he wanted to get married. And everybody started saying, oh, he's a good man, why not? So she finally, because her head led her that way, not her heart, but her head, she went ahead and married the guy. And it was awful because she couldn't love him. And, it didn't last. The marriage didn't last. It was over quickly. But, I just want to say, don't let your head make good logical decisions. That was a good logical decision, she was alone. She was a little bit older in life, and he was a good man, and she did know him, and he financially, he was stable, and there was all kinds of pluses, but her heart didn't feel it. You can't make that happen in your heart either. It's either there or it's not. We love everybody, but you cannot just be in love with anybody, okay? That's that part. But there's all kinds of other issues in life. Your job. Let's say there's a job that's opened. And there's 2 jobs. One of them pays a lot of money. One of them is a prestigious job. And the other one pays a lot less, and it's not as thought as well of, but there's something in your heart that likes this job over here. Go with the job over here. Don't do this one. Do the one that's your heart is with. Now I'm going to tell you one more story, and then I'm going to call this a day. My Guido. It's about my Guido. I went out the day after my dog died. I had a beautiful little Pomeranian named Nala, and I loved her, and she died suddenly. And the very next day, and I knew when I got a new dog it was going to be a Yorkie. I did know that. So the very next day, my daughter and daughter-in-law said, we're going to go out and get you a new dog. And I go, I'm not ready for a new dog yet. Let me see how long I've talked. Oh, I'm okay, 5 minutes. And so they insist I go. So they take me over to Palm Desert Puppy. I walk in, and there's two little Yorkies in a cage together. One of them is bigger than the other one, and one of them has bigger ears, and one of the ears flops down like this, so he's, you know. And one of them has a tail. The same one has the tail, the floppy ear, and he's a little bigger, right? And he's in there just attacking the other one. I walked in that door, and I said, I don't want that dog right there. And I pointed right at this bigger dog. And the other guy says to me, yeah, no, he said, you know, his ears are too big, and he has a tail that breeder doesn't like to cut tails off, so it devalues the dog, and I can't guarantee you how much he's going to weigh. So he said, but now this one, and he pulls the other little one out, and he says, this one, on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10. He's got beautiful markings. I'll guarantee you he won't weigh over 5 pounds. And I'm holding the little guy, and my daughter's saying, get him, Mom, get him. And there was something in my heart, and I say, well, just let me see the one with the big ears. Let me just hold him. And so he brings Guido, with his Guido today. I get hold of Guido, and something in my heart lurched. The other dog was everything I thought I wanted, right? I wanted it real small. I wanted a small one. I didn't want him to be bigger. And I knew what I wanted, but I'm telling you, when I got a hold of Guido, my heart lurched. And Stacy goes, you like him, don't you? And I go, you know, I really do. I ended up buying that dog. I walked right in the door and said, I don't want that dog, because I was looking at everything with my eyes instead of my heart. But I'm telling you, this dog that I got, let me just get him in here and show him to you. Look at the size of these ears. This is him. This is my Guido. He is the perfect dog for me. He and I are like this. So, with that said, always, always go with your heart. I got this little guy by going with my heart. Look at him. He's adorable. Get over here and lay down now. Anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, you guys, I better wrap this up. Always follow your heart, all right? And buy my book, doggone it. And would you subscribe to this video on YouTube? Velma Hagar, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places. I'm getting a few more of you on there, though. Okay, you guys, until next time, this is Velma Hagar bidding you a blessed day. Follow your heart.